Hello, it's Dr. Brian McDonough. Believe it or not, it's been 1 year since we started these reports. Sadly, 1 year later, we have over 2.5 million deaths from COVID in the world, 528,714 and counting here in the United States. We've seen a lot of suffering. We've seen a lot of death. We've dealt with a lot of things that few of us could have conceived possible a year ago. All that being said, it's important to look at where we've been and where we're going. As most of you know, I started these reports for the people of Philadelphia. This is the media market where I live, media market where I did television for over 20 years. And frankly, I thought I was done with all this. But the reality is, sometimes it's more important to speak. Sometimes it's more important to reach out. And sometimes it's most important to get information to allow people to make the choices they need to make in their own lives. We've tried to do that. So where have we been and where are we going? Well, first of all, where we've been, a couple things that are very important. Understand that nothing has changed about how the virus acts. Yes, there are some mutations, but the virus acts the same way. We did a video report back on May 5th, 2020. At the time, the Washington University, basically a group in Washington State that looked at predicting the number of cases of COVID, said that in the summer of 2020, we might get 3,000 cases a day, and politicians and others scoffed at the idea, and the country was opening up. There were a lot of people pro and con making their cases, and I noticed really in the media that we were getting opinion many times outweighing scientific-based evidence. And I made a commitment to myself and to you that we would just look at the evidence and try to keep politics out of things, and I've tried to stay true to that. All that being said, somehow, some way, the virus did become politicized, and to a large extent, it has been a barrier as we've been trying to move forward and to help people as much as we could. All the while, I personally was dealing with my own personal fears and concerns, knowing that every patient I saw theoretically could give me the virus or bring it home to my family. I was getting dressed in the basement, sleeping in the basement, trying to avoid any possible contact like so many other people in this country. And we went through those days. Sadly, we lost people we care about, people we love. But we also remember certain things that are important as a testament to those who did lose their lives. We have to fight forward. I think we've realized we're all in this together. If anything, as a society, as a world, we are all tied together. We're more similar than we are different. I think we've also learned that there are some things about this virus that are common. The fact that it continues to be spread through droplet nuclei, which means you need to wear masks, you need to social distance, you need to wash your hands, clean surfaces. Those things have not changed from the very beginning, and they have held true despite what anyone will tell you. In addition to that, we now have 3 vaccines. People are starting to get vaccinated. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm being asked the question, what vaccine is best? In other words, what vaccine should I get? And I tell people over and over again, get the first one that's offered. Because they all share one very important thing. They will keep you from being hospitalized and ending up in the ICU and dying. That's the key. Those people at high-risk groups certainly need to take advantage of this. But because we don't know who's in a high-risk group, we don't know what might be in our own immune system that would make us more likely to suffer the repercussions of the most severe aspects of this virus, we have to all take it seriously. We have to all get vaccinated when the time is there. Dr. Art Kaplan, who is a world-famous bioethicist, shared a very important point with me. And what he said was, when it's your time, do not feel guilty. Do not feel ethically in any way wrong. You know it's time for your vaccine. Just don't jump the line. Make sure you get it when you're supposed to get the vaccine. So all of these things are true. But where are we going? Right now, how long do we think this vaccine will last, and where will we be? The latest information we have is quite logical and evidence-based. The vaccine is expected to last 6 months. Why 6 months, you might say? Because right now, the longest experience we have with the vaccine is it's been out there for 6 months. So we know it works for 6 months. We may find out in 3 more months it works for 9 months. Or in 6 more months it works for a year. That's how we will learn about the vaccine, because we are living real-world science as we go forward. Those who accuse some of the scientists saying they made mistakes, yeah, they made mistakes. That's because They're learning as they go. Many of the things in healthcare that I practice were taught based on 60, 70, 80 years of experience. We're living real time with this virus, and that's why it's important to keep up. It's important to watch things like this, and it's important to stay informed. One final point that I think is critical, and I think this is one that we should all remember. Going forward, it's important over the next year, as you can get out more, to make sure you take care of yourself psychologically. If you are depressed or you're anxious, and so many people are, share your story, get help, talk with people. If you are someone who has diabetes, hypertension, hasn't been going for your studies for mammography, haven't been going for your studies for colonoscopy, get back into the game, because it would be a tragedy if you got through COVID and something else that could prevent it killed you. The reality here is we are living in a world with something new, different. We've gotten used to it, but we will get past it, and we have to think forward to that. And finally, as always, if I can be of any help, if you have topics that you want me to talk about, you know how to reach out. Obviously, through these videos, through our podcast, Coronavirus Today, which now has over 175 episodes out there. Take advantage of what we're providing. The best weapon in this battle is information and knowledge. Stay safe. Wash your hands.